Hello there, Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 7 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here again to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. Today I want to look at the subject of avoidance, especially as we might be using that to deal with aspects of life. Now, I'm not saying there aren't certain things that we might want to avoid. Driving down the freeway the wrong way might be a good one, you know. Going through a dark alley with some sort of shady character lurking in there. However, I think when we try to use avoidance as a way of life, as a way of kind of finding happiness or creating the life we want, I'm not sure it serves us. There's a quote that I'm sending out to those 5,000 people on my quote list that says, "When our purpose becomes avoidance, our life becomes a void." When our purpose becomes avoidance, our life becomes a void. So let's break that down. When our purpose becomes avoidance, it's not like we decided, okay, I'm just going to avoid this and I feel okay about it. Now our purpose is avoidance. The thing we want to accomplish is avoidance. And if we use that over and over and over and over, all we're doing is trying to avoid this person or that situation or that feeling or that thought or that emotion. And often what we create is this big void because we're not really creating something that we want. We're just trying to avoid what we don't want. And for those of you who follow my life from the top of the mind philosophy, you know that avoidance is based on worry, fear. And when we use worry and fear as a guide for our thoughts, emotions, behavior, we're actually engaging this lower 20% of the brain. This fight or flight part of the brain, which in a fight or flight situation is a great idea, but notice how few of the situations that we really deal with on a regular basis are truly fight or flight in nature. I'm a big fan of actually using this upper 80% of the brain, the neocortex, that allows us to make decisions in a way that does help us create the life we want. In fact, I've got 4 neocortex questions we can always ask ourselves to maybe get some clarity about whether avoidance is what we want, and if not, what to do instead. The first question is, have we chosen this on purpose? Or do we just find ourselves avoiding situations? So sometimes we just find ourselves, sometimes we have chosen purposely, so that might be a yes. The next question is, how's it working for me? Is it really helping me create the life I want? Do I feel happy and free and good when I'm avoiding this? Or is it one more thing that I have to worry about? The third one I really love, is it making the statement I want to make about who I am? Do I want to define myself as someone who avoids this and avoids that and avoids this and avoids that and uses avoidance as a way of creating my life? And maybe the fourth one could be the most powerful of all. Would I teach and or recommend this way of being to someone I love? So let's look at this. If we're avoiding certain people and we find ourselves kind of noticing when they're coming this way and go the other way, or avoiding being with them, or when we think about them, we just don't like it. We're not really doing that on purpose. It's not really working for us. Do we really want to define ourselves as someone who just avoids people as a way of life? And would we really recommend that to someone we love? Now, that doesn't mean we have to spend a lot of time with these people, but we can instead flip those questions around, those neocortex questions. What if I were choosing to deal with life in a very purposeful way, in a way that is effective, helps me create the life I want, in a way that makes the statement I want to make about who I am? I make my choices out of this, and in a way I would recommend to someone I love. It could be the things we're choosing to go toward, not the things we're trying to avoid, could be exactly the things that fit those 4 criteria. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is just notice if you find yourself kind of avoiding situations as a way of life, check it out with those 4 neocortex questions. Ask those questions. Is it really serving me? Is it working for me? Is it making the statement I want to make about who I am? Do I want to define myself in this way? And would I recommend it to someone I love? If not, flip those questions around and see if there's another way to create an experience of life that is more purposeful, does define you in the way you want to be defined, and in a way you would recommend to someone you love. This is what I do. This is my Life from the Top of the Mind philosophy. I've got a book about it called Life from the Top of the Mind. I've written another book for people who are in the performing arts called Freeing the Artistic Mind that uses this. I got another book called College from the Top of the Mind for those of you folks who are in college and are kind of dealing with all the challenges that everybody deals with in college. And I go around the country teaching this material. So if you hear something in these videos that would be valuable for you or your organization, all you got to do is go to my website, billcrawfordphd.com, or just Google Bill Crawford, Ph.D. I'll come up on the first page. And hit the contact button. Let me know what you're interested in, and I would love to come and talk with you about any aspect of this philosophy and this system. In the meantime, here is to you bringing more clarity about what you want to choose versus just what you want to avoid. Confidence in your ability to do that and creativity in the process. More clarity, confidence, creativity in everything you do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.